Love you.
So, welcome back to another episode of Brad and Mira for the Culture. My name is Brad Listi, and I am here with my friend and co-host Mira Gonzalez.
Hello.
How you doing, Mira?
I'm doing all right, and I wanted to start off the show in a way that is both important and sad, and I request that our viewers be very respectful. A dear friend of mine has announced that they are going to be liquidating all of their stores, and that dear friend is Joann Fabrics. Joann Fabrics has gone through various bankruptcies throughout this year, and it was announced yesterday that they will be closing all of their stores, every single one. And there will be liquidation sales from which I will never financially recover. But I would like to do a 3-second moment of silence for Joann Fabrics. Brad, please join me. Thank you.
Wow, Joann Fabrics. There's something very it evokes something like very like 70s or like early 1980s for me. Just the name Joann and the whole thing.
I don't know where I'm gonna get my yarn now. It's a real issue for me. You know, the Joann's brand yarn is my favorite yarn in the world, and I am gonna have to buy hundreds of skeins of it, and I will not be able to retire as a result.
Damn. R.I.P. Joann Fabrics.
R.I.P. You will be missed.
Don't forget to subscribe to this show wherever you listen, and make sure to follow us on social media. Mira is on Twitter and Instagram at MiraGons. I am on Instagram and Bluesky.
At what is your handle on Instagram and Bluesky, Brad?
I think it's at Otherppl. I forget. Instagram is at otherppl.podcast, and then Bluesky is maybe at otherppl. I don't know. You can find me. Just search for me.
Yeah, good luck.
All right. So what do we got going on this week in popular culture, Mira?
Well, this week we had a very exciting premiere that Brad and I both watched on the day of. And you know that it's exciting because Brad does not watch television at all, let alone watch it when it airs. So yesterday, the Baldwins debuted, which is, for those who don't know or who have not listened to us talk about it repeatedly on the podcast, is the reality show about the Baldwin family, which is airing on TLC, the same network as My 600-Pound Life, 90 Day Fiance, 16 and Pregnant, etc. And we had some thoughts. Brad, you want to start us off?
I mean, the first thing I will say is that it was exactly, like to an uncanny degree, it was exactly what I anticipated that it would be. Like there was almost not a single second of the show that surprised me.
Like, even the order of the, like, I swear to God, we could have, like, storyboarded and written the entire show, and it would have basically been the same.
Yeah. I was like, okay, we kind of knew they were going to be, I mean, I guess we've seen the previews too. So you had a sense that they were going to upfront the whole involuntary manslaughter story on the set of Alec Baldwin's movie, and the drama that, ensued over the past couple of years in courtrooms and whatnot.
I mean, it's essentially just like a rebuilding of Alec Baldwin's image after he did that killing thing, like, is what the whole show is. And in that sense, it's kind of shameful, but it's also, like, not very... I didn't find them super humanized, personally.
See, I did. I was like, okay, like they're trying their best. They have 7 kids. I feel interested in the behind the scenes decision-making process that led them to this moment. I have to believe, because Alec Baldwin is really good friends with Lorne Michaels. They like are buddies in New York or whatever. And
Jesus.
So I'm one, and Lorne is known as like a show business Svengali, right? So if I'm Alec Baldwin and my career has cratered and I've got this horrible tragedy looming over me, I think he would turn to Lorne and say, "What should I do?" And so
Do you think Lorne would say reality show?
I don't know. I mean, it's like, I think the only way maybe that they could see to reclaim the narrative of their lives was to do this show and to like let people in and to like let people see them, quote unquote, as they actually are.
Which, like, was not the show, by the way. To me, this seemed like so not what they really are, and so incredibly, like, staged and just like they're... Alec Baldwin is not that perky in real life, I don't think. Like, there's like a scene where the kids are like, they're like decorating a cake, but they have like all 7 kids involved, including like the 2-year-old, and like The kids are like putting their hands in the fucking frosting and they're getting it all over the counter and they're just like spilling sprinkles everywhere. And like Alec and fucking Hilaria are just like, ha ha ha, like, oh, that's so funny. Like, oh, careful with the frosting. Like, I'm sorry. I come from a family with 6 kids, okay? If you don't have like a nanny and another nanny and a cleaning lady and another cleaning lady, then the kids know to not do that shit because when they do it, the parent goes like, hey, fucking cut that out. I have to fucking clean that. Stop. They don't go
Right.
like, haha, you're making a big mess.
Yeah. The nanny will clean up after the
I like the nanny is not here. How you say nanny is on Christmas break?
It is imperative to have 2 nannies.
I like you are how you say elderly. We're doing an impression of Alec and Hilaria Baldwin for those who are unaware.
I don't know if I can go deep enough. This is WNYC.
I don't know if I can go Spanish enough. I feel like she's like specifically trying to be Spanish, so I feel like she should be lisping more. Like she should be like, Alec, where are the children? Where are the children?
What isn't that? Isn't that Catalan? Don't they lisp in like it's like Barcelona?
It's Barcelona. It's most of Spain, I think, because they had that one gay king, and then everyone was like, I want to sound like that.
Wait, that's not real.
That's really, I swear to God, real. In Spain, there was a king who lisped, and everyone loved him so much that they all lisped, and they have lisped ever since.
I hope Trump starts lisping, so MAGA has to like, they'll feel conflicted. Like, wait a minute,
like,
do
okay,
I
well,
lisp?
I guess we have to lisp.
I ain't lisping. I guess I am.
That's queer.
Prove your allegiance to the king.
So, okay, this show had like so much in it that like literally like I took notes like Lord of the Rings style because just like it was so there were things that I needed to remember, and I think Brad did the same. The first thing I noticed is that they have 7 kids in a 5-bedroom apartment. What the fuck?
I mean,
7 kids, 2 nannies, and 1 million dogs.
And the nannies live in there. There's no way the nannies live in the apartment.
That's what Hilaria said. She was like listing all of the quote unquote beings in the house. And she was like, we have 7 kids, we have 4 cats, we have 5 dogs, whatever, and 2 nannies. That's 17 beings in the house total. The nannies live with them, which makes it even funnier as to like why they weren't on the show at all.
So yeah, I don't know what the status is of Alec Baldwin's show business career, like as a serious actor, because he's a good actor and like he had been getting lots of good roles. He was in a Scorsese movie, like he's a successful character actor. But after this, this manslaughter thing, maybe there's just too much like negative energy around him and he couldn't get roles. He's got 7 kids, 2 different homes, 2 nannies working for the family. And all I could do as I was watching this show was try to figure out what like the monthly burn is for his family.
It's gotta be crazy because okay, like that apartment, it was way too small for his fucking family. Like he should have had less kids. That's crazy. But for a Manhattan apartment, it was gigantic. It was like a really like it must have been expensive.
I would guess it's more than $10 million.
Yeah, that sounds right to me. Because it's
way
like
more.
A multi-story townhouse situation. Like that's like 5 bedrooms is a lot.
Yeah, in New York, it's incredible to have a 5-bedroom place, and it's very expensive. And then they've got the house in East Hampton, which is lovely. And I'm imagining that both residences are fully paid for. He probably paid cash for them, I'm guessing.
God, I fucking hope so. Jesus, imagine if he's still paying a mortgage on top of all the other expenses. Like the nannies, right? Salary. How much do you think their salary is?
In New York?
Live-in nannies.
I would guess like probably $100K each a year.
Minimum, I would say.
Yeah.
Like
so
for like a nanny of like a celebrity couple with 7 kids in New York City at like probably like 2, and that would be like not very generous. Like Beyonce's nanny gets paid $1 million.
I mean, good God. So let's just say that it's like $250K a year for the nannies. Their kids are going to private school.
2 nannies though. Okay, so like low 250 for both nannies, right?
Yeah, let's just say 250 for both nannies. 7 kids. Not all of them are school age yet. They've got the baby, maybe they've got another one.
Yeah, and we should say 7 kids under the age of 12.
Right.
That's fucking crazy. So they're all school age besides the 2 babies, I guess, who might be in preschool actually, though.
Yeah, which costs money. So let's just say on average, they've got Like 5 kids in school, I would guess that a private school in New York City is like 50 grand a year per kid.
Yeah. And they're in, I looked it up, it's in a Spanish language immersion private school in New York. So it's like a fancy ass school. Like I would say, yeah, 50,000 per kid probably per year. Because I know Crossroads in LA is 65 per year, so 50 would be low.
Jesus Christ. So yeah, 50 is being generous. So 50 times 5 would be another 250. So that would take us to 500K. Preschool's cheaper, but let's just say that's another 50. So $550,000 a year just for nannies and kids' school.
Right, that's not counting like food, cars, like any other expenses at all. Fucking therapy for those kids. I mean, like anything. The fucking animals, like God. The fucking lawsuit, they paid off that family. That family didn't go to court. They did an out of court settlement. They probably paid them so much money.
That's probably like a big chunk of whatever, nest egg they had was probably.
Right?
And you know what? Good. I mean, if I were him,
Yeah,
like
good.
I would want if I had the money, I would want to pay. I'd feel so bad. Like, yeah, here,
Well,
take
and
it.
also just publicity wise, you want to stay out of court, ideally. Like he doesn't want to have to potentially face like an actual manslaughter charge. So like he'd probably be willing to. I mean, I'm sure he was willing to give whatever the fuck they wanted, which would have been a lot. Because can you imagine how much money they could have gotten out of him if they did sue?
Yeah, I mean, like he should like the kid who lost his mom, like that poor woman who got shot on the set. Like that kid growing up without his mother, like whoever's like Alec Baldwin should have to contribute heavily to that kid's welfare.
I mean, yeah, he killed their mother with a gun. He shot their mother in the fucking face, and the mother is dead. So, like, yeah, that son deserves to have like every single thing. He should never have to work a job in his life.
And it was because of negligence on the set. Like not, I mean, partially Alec Baldwin's because he's kind of running the
All
ship.
Alec Baldwin's. He was the producer, and he fired the arms guy. It's
Yeah, but
fully. If Alec Baldwin was anyone besides Alec Baldwin, he'd be in jail.
really.
Yeah, straight up. Because if you're on set and you're a producer on set, it is your job to make sure that you hire people who keep the set safe. And according to SAG rules, according to like OSHA rules, you have to have an arms person on set who is dealing with the guns. And the way that that works is you have like so many different checks, right? You have like the arms guy making sure there's no bullets in it, and then you have like another guy who's opening up and making sure there's no bullets in it. You have to show on camera that there's no bullets in it. None of that happened.
Oy, awful. So yeah, and he looks super.
Haggard.
He looks tired. He's 61. I think the stress of this
He's
of
only
the
61.
yeah.
I thought he was like mid 70s. He looks fucked up.
Well,
Douche.
he's been through a lot. He's stressed out, and he's got. I mean, if you have 7 young children and you're that age, you're not sleeping well because you're getting up at
No.
all hours. I don't care. Maybe they have like a night nanny who covers, the baby or whatever. But like,
I mean, they have 2 live-in nannies. The baby, how young is the youngest baby?
probably I looked at me. She's walking, so probably either
It's like one or two.
1 or 2, 1.5 maybe.
Right. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, doesn't it feel like at a certain point, like you're in this apartment, you have like 2 boys sharing the same room? Maybe like stop so you don't have 3 kids sharing one? Like, it's just too many.
I don't understand what the compulsion is that drives you to just keep procreating like that. Unless you're like, I could understand it in the old days as like part of a Catholic thing. It's like,
Sure, you don't use birth control, it just happens, then,
yeah,
some of them die or whatever. Like, sure,
yeah, yeah,
fine.
yeah. Or you need like help on the farm, like.
Right. You need farm hands.
Well, no, but there was that moment in the show, which I think was like a semi misguided moment. It was an interesting moment where Alec is like, I think the reason why we had all these babies is so they could carry us through this difficult time.
They're not carrying you through shit. They're making it more stressful.
Yeah, but it's also like, dude, don't put that on your kids. Like we had you so that
Yeah.
you could ameliorate my stress levels or,
Yeah.
give me a reason to keep living after, this woman gets shot on the set of my movie. Like,
Yeah, like that kid is not your emotional support. It's the other way around, buddy. Like that's crazy. Like your kid needs emotional support because of what you did, not your kid giving you emotional support.
carry daddy. It's your responsibility.
You have to help your papa.
Oh
Your
my.
papa is muy elderly. He's you say dying?
And he's like, he doesn't look like he works out or maybe watches what he eats all that well. Like he's not looking fit.
Unlike
And
Hilaria, who looks like she has not aged a day.
she is there is not a woman on earth who has had 7 children, and I think one of the kids or maybe 2 of the kids were surrogate, I don't know. That's like a Hollywood thing where you outsource
Yeah.
pregnancy to somebody, but, she's had many, many babies. Gorgeous. She looks
Gorgeous.
she looks like she never had a baby in her life and just
It's
like
like drop the skincare routine. Like, who is her doctor? She looks so fucking good. It is crazy. You look at pictures of her when she's younger, when they first got married. Alec looks like a handsome young man. He looks like a different person. She looks exactly the same. It could have been a picture taken yesterday.
but, like, to be fair, I think she's in her 30s. She's 26 years younger than him,
She's in her
and
30s now?
well, if he's 61 and she's 26 years younger, she's 35, I wanna say.
What? Okay, wait, hold on. So it makes sense that she looks so good. I guess that I thought she
I
was
was
like
gonna say,
older.
well, I mean, as a man who's about to
She's
turn 50,
41.
41, okay, well, whatever. So maybe is he
But
60?
still,
How old is he then? Is he maybe he's older than 61.
yeah, let's see. How old is Alec Baldwin?
Maybe I have the math wrong.
Alec Baldwin is 66.
Okay, so he's 66, she's
She's
41,
41. So they're
and
25 years apart.
yeah, something like that.
26,
And
25.
as a guy who's about to turn 50, I'll just say that, like, there is just a point at which any human being, you go off the cliff. I guess people have different cliffs.
Some people have a look that ages well. You know, some people have a look where they go a little gray, they get a little withered, and it just kind of adds to the look. Like George Clooney, obviously being the prime example of this always.
How
Like
do
some
I how am I
people just
doing?
age well.
Am
Now
I
you're
doing
doing
all right?
pretty good, I think. Yeah. I feel like most men don't wear sunscreen, and that puts you like so far ahead.
I put it on every day.
It's so important. It is the closest thing to magic that you could possibly have in a skincare routine. It will de-age you, and you can really tell Alec Baldwin never wore sunscreen, never moisturized. Like Hilaria did not hook him up with a good skincare routine as she should have.
Did she get a boob job?
Yeah, absolutely. Those are fake for sure. I was
Okay,
looking at it. Yeah, I was like, that's like you've nursed kids, like, and she's like naturally very petite. You can tell she's like a thin woman. Like to have boobs that are like that huge and that perky on such a small frame after nursing, like there's no way. I'll bet she got like a fat transfer or like something like that. It didn't look like silicone to me.
I wonder if she'll, yeah, because she's got this like yoga wellness brand. Is she gonna? You sort of have to be au naturel in that world, like, but yet,
I mean, less and less though. Like I feel like now everybody admits they get Botox. Like that's just like they go like, oh, have you had work done? They go, no, just a little Botox. That's it. Like that's the answer now normally. But she's had work.
I've never had Botox.
We should get Botox together. I want to try it.
Ugh, I'm scared. It's like I don't like the idea of injecting myself with what is it? Botulism?
Botulism.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that doesn't sound good.
If it makes me hotter, I'll do it.
Are you going to be one of these people who gets like tons of operations and plastic
No.
surgery? Yeah.
No, definitely not. I've decided early on that like if I get any work done, it'll only be when I'm much older, and the only thing that I will do is like this little neck gobble thing. If that
That's what I'm
becomes
getting.
like
That's what I'm getting. I'm getting the neck guy, and I want it. I'm like, I think I would get it taken off if I had the extra money
the
lying around.
means,
Yeah.
yeah, like if I had the money, like it's like I don't mind wrinkles on my face. I don't mind like aging, but like aging Audrey Hepburn style, where you don't have the neck thing, you've got a nice jawline. Like that's what I want.
Yeah. I think that's what everybody wants, but
Yeah.
can't not everybody can have it. So I think that the age gap, like that was one thing I detected in the show, is that the age gap is now starting to tip
Yeah,
into a
he's getting
place.
tired.
Yeah, he's tired and he's an old man. I mean, he's not that old. He's only 66. That's not like, I mean, it's old, but it's not like super elderly, but it's getting there.
There is a quote from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City that I think is very pertinent here. It was a text that Angie Castaneda sent to Bronwyn Newport, or sent about Bronwyn Newport, that said, "I like her business plan, marrying somebody who has one foot in the grave and one foot on a banana peel." I think that's about where Hilarious at.
I mean, yeah, the stress and then he clearly is, I think, worried about his finances. I mean, it's just like, ugh, it's like you could feel it. You can feel it coming off of him. I feel for him.
And like yeah, like he was trying, like he was really putting up a front of like laughing and like I love my family, things are stressful, but I have such a nice time. He was just devastated. He was fucking gone. Like, he's like, he can't even act well. Like, he's like having a happy, fun time. Like, it is like just like right underneath the surface is just like an absolute fucking meltdown.
I can't believe. I mean, I like as a parent, I can sort of relate. Like parenthood can be that way where you're like, "Oh my god, I'm like exhausted and miserable and yet filled with like this weird joy."
Right, right. It's like everything is a nightmare, but my kids are being really cute right now.
Yeah, or just like, they're all there. Like, on some level, like just having your kids nearby makes you happy, but like
I feel like Alec Baldwin is at the point where he's like, I just want people to not be talking to me. Blah. Like, just like he seems tired.
they need to rent. I bet you they have. I bet you he has like a safe house. He's got like a studio apartment in New York City that he just goes to, and there's just like a chair, and he just goes in
Yeah.
there and sits down in the
Just sits,
silence.
stares at a wall.
Just
His family probably doesn't even know about it. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna go work. He just sits in his little concrete room, just stares at a wall.
I need to get away from my family. They're driving me to the point of insanity.
Okay, I need to. Papa has to go to his room now. He's muy cansado.
And so if I think the marriage seems like it's okay, but I do feel like Hilaria is just this like vibrant, super hot woman who's like
Fast
aging.
talking, like just like full of energy, just a ball of energy. That woman.
Yeah, and like healthy. Like
Yeah,
she clearly is like she's got time. Even with 7 kids, she's getting to
she's
Pilates and
going to
yoga.
Pilates exactly. Like she is like taking care of herself, like to a degree that yeah is impressive considering how many fucking kids she has.
Yeah, that's amazing. But I just feel like, he's not able to probably keep up. And then also like there was that point where she's like, Alec was very handsome and is very handsome.
Yeah, it was like was very handsome, and he's still handsome. He's still handsome.
Yeah, like I wonder, like, is she like, because she's got to be walking around New York City and there's all these like handsome younger men.
Oh yeah, she's like she knows that like at this point, and I mean at this point he was handsome when they got married, and at this point he is like batting so far out of his league. Like he is like she is just so far ahead. Even with him being Alec Baldwin, it kind of doesn't make sense, and like that's wild. And I wouldn't have said that unless I had seen the inside of their home. It'd be one thing if they had like Kris Jenner's house and all these kids and all these nannies and it's fine. But like, no, she is in like an apartment that is too small for her family, even though it's huge. And it's like everything is the chaotic nightmare. So like, what is the benefit of being married to Alec Baldwin?
I want to say they put the house in East Hampton on the market. Like
Really?
it's not in this show, but I remember seeing that because there was like a kind of snarky video going around social media where they were basically making fun of this video that Alec Baldwin made where he was kind of giving a home tour to like prospective buyers. And it was like he was like sad, like walking around his house, putting it on the market. Probably didn't want to sell it.
I mean, it's the only pleasant place he has to live. Like in the show, you see the Manhattan apartment is constant chaos, constant. And then the Hamptons place is like regular. It's like they have enough space for all of them. They're on the beach. They're having a nice time. Like it doesn't feel so crazy for how big their family is. It's
Let
the
me
only
see.
pleasant place he had to live.
Alec Baldwin lists his enormous Hamptons farmhouse for $29 million.
Wow. So he needs money. He's struggling.
But I mean, if he gets even $25 million, like
He'll be fine.
you should be able to be okay on that. Like,
Yeah, I
right?
mean, ideally. I mean, they could also just fucking send their kids to public school and like fucking stop spending, I don't know, $1 million a year on their fucking schooling, but that's another issue entirely, I guess.
Alec Baldwin bought the 10-acre property with a 10,000 square foot 4-bedroom farmhouse in 1996, paying just $1.75 million.
Holy shit.
That's a good investment. If he sells it, I don't know if he sold it, but 29 million, if he gets even like half of
Even
that,
close.
yeah.
Yeah. He's still making so much fucking money.
Wait, but now
That's fucking crazy.
Alec Baldwin stars in real estate. Oh, here it is. Stars in real estate video for Hampton's mansion as he relists it with a major price cut. So he now
What's the
listed
price
it
cut?
to 22.5 million and it is now available for 18.995 million.
Still a fucking huge profit.
Alec Baldwin's Hamptons home still unsold after $10 million cut as source denies financial strain. Yeah, I mean, they need cash is what they need.
That's what it sounds like. It sounds like they desperately need cash, and maybe TLC paid them a lot for the show, and that's part of why they did it. Like, I don't know. Also, like, it seems like they're low on staff and stuff too. Like, it seems like if you were, just if he were really rich, if he had a lot of money in cash, like, they would be doing almost everything in this house differently. I think, like they're throughout the show, repeatedly, Hilaria talks about how Alec has OCD and how it's like different than, like OCD. Like, she's saying the normal things about OCD that people say that's true, which is like it's not like you see on TV. It's not just like, oh, I have to keep everything clean. It is something that causes you to suffer, and the stress has made his OCD worse or whatever. But then they show the OCD moments, supposedly, and it's just him cleaning. It's just like the kid fucking threw fruit everywhere and he's picking up the fruit, or he's fucking wiping down the counter.
And
It's like
Eli's like, oh, look at Alex. He's got his OCD.
he's a very mentally unwell. His OCD is such a problem.
This house is filthy and disgusting. And I'm just.
Oh, Alec, you have an OCD. You have to stop. You have to calm down. Take a Xanax.
That's what I thought. He's like wiping down like the countertop, and she's like, "Oh, he's got a problem." I'm like, "What?" Like he's
Yeah,
just.
they have this like sad music, and it's like boom. Like, Alec's OCD has really been an issue. It's like really like been affecting him, and he's just like putting the toys away.
Yeah, thank God somebody's got OCD in this house. Otherwise, it'd be a
Yeah,
complete disaster.
it'd be a fucking nightmare. It's like completely insane. Like, the whole situation, like the scene where she was doing a seating chart for getting all of her kids in a car to the Hamptons. Like, literally, she was like, here is the seating chart for where the kids are gonna sit in the car. What the fuck?
They got to do 2 cars, right? Like they 7
Yeah.
kids. You got 2 cars, 2 different, loads of offspring, basically. And
Not to mention all the fucking pets.
and like, yeah, like what is going on? Because that's their summer place out in the Hamptons where they get the kids out of the city and into the nature. It's got to be sad for him to have to sell that place. Like, where are they going to go in the summer?
Where are they gonna go when they want to feel not insane?
How much do you
Nowhere.
how much do you think they're getting paid for this show? Like they probably have an ownership stake in it. Like how much does he get paid per episode?
He's certainly an executive producer, so like those camera people should watch out about any arms on set. But sorry, inappropriate joke.
But
Uh,
no weapons without.
no weapons. But they must be paying him a good chunk of change, because I don't know though, because like also it probably is like an attempt by him and his publicity people to like rehabilitate his image so that he can get work again. So it does benefit him, but he's got to be getting paid well for it anyways.
If he's got any pride, like the only way you do
But
this,
he
like
doesn't.
I cannot imagine. I think he does, but I just think he can't afford to have pride at this point because
Yeah, you don't do reality television when you have pride. The pride is like, that's out the window. He doesn't get that anymore.
you're just like, fuck it. This is my last shot or whatever. But I gotta believe that he is getting paid what, more than 5 million. Like they're getting more than $5 million plus like a stake in the ownership of the show so that if it really goes and they get multiple seasons, it'll be lucrative.
Yeah, it's got to be at least that, right? Like, it's got to be like enough to like pay for the nannies in the kids' school for like a year, like
Yeah,
at
I mean,
least.
at least you would think, but I don't know how this stuff works. I don't know, who knows what these deals are, but he's a
I
big
don't know
enough
how much
name.
money TLC has to pay him. Like, I know like if it was Bravo, he could get a shitload of money, but I don't know. I don't actually know how much money TLC like has or how popular their shows are.
I can't imagine anything worse than having a camera crew in my domestic space, like interviewing me and my wife and like filming our kids and stuff. Like that's got to be
Oh my
so
god.
what a nightmare. Ugh.
And also, like, he is very clearly using his children to rebrand his own image after he killed somebody. And I don't know how I feel about that just generally. Like, if I were like as a dad, is that really like the best dad move? Like, let's take my young, vulnerable children and shove them in front of cameras on like what is certainly like the most gross reality TV show network, the most just like freak show reality network. I'm gonna take my kids, I'm gonna put them in front of cameras, I'm gonna let them be insane and embarrass themselves, and I'm gonna do that so that I can maybe rehabilitate my image after I killed a woman because I was trying to save 10 cents on set. Like, damn, dude, that's that. Like, I don't think I would do that as a parent.
I don't know. I just feel like maybe it's just like desperate. And it's the only way to like the only way to fully control the narrative of who you are is to just get like super autobiographical, I guess.
I think it's gotta be desperation. It's the only thing that I can think of. It makes zero sense otherwise why he's even doing this at all. Like it's not he clearly doesn't want to. He very clearly doesn't want to. Like it's hilarious seems into it. He is like just very clearly not at all.
Hilaria, kill me. Please, Hilaria.
Oh, you are so funny, Alec.
Just put me out of my misery, please.
Oh, he make me laugh so much. We have so much of fun together. And like it should be said, just to be very clear for anyone who doesn't know, this is not me making fun of a Spanish woman for having a Spanish accent. This is me making fun of a woman from Boston who is pretending to have a Spanish accent and be from Spain. I will say in the show, she speaks Spanish to her kids in the house. She's clearly bilingual. She clearly can speak Spanish fluently. And I have no problem with that. I actually think that's a good thing. If you're bilingual, yes, speak to your kid in Spanish, send them to a Spanish English immersion school. They should know Spanish. My issue is when she pretends to have an accent and pretends to not remember English words. The bitch is from Boston, let's be real.
Yeah. Yeah. What was it? The word cucumber? Didn't she forget the word cucumber?
How you say a cucumber? It was like she was like, "Oh yeah, I was just nervous on TV." And the way that she addresses this in the show for a moment, and she goes like, like I'll mix together English and Spanish. I speak Spanish to my kids. Like that's called being human. And she does not address the fact that she fakes an accent. She's just like, "Yeah, I speak Spanish to my kids. I mix up English and Spanish. That's called being human." Like it's like, what are you talking about?
I mean, I could see like having like a momentary glitch. Like if you're constantly going back and forth, like you could have like a glitch. I think that's reasonable.
But like we saw them, they're not constantly going back and forth. She just like speaks Spanish to the kids sometimes. And like that's like just a bilingual household. It's not like she's ever spoken Spanish full time. She's never like lived in Spain.
What do you I think she has family living in Spain, she said, right? Her
No, she
parents.
vacationed in Spain. She went to
Oh.
summers in Spain with her family when she was younger.
Who among us didn't summer in Spain as a child?
I mean, that's just the most common thing ever. We've all done that, right?
I wonder when she broke the news to Alec that she wasn't Spanish. Like
I
they're
mean, I
like,
feel like she became Spanish midway through their marriage.
oh, I was imagining like he's like, wait a minute, you're not a hot Spanish woman?
I mean, maybe she like her name was Hilaria. She did go from Hillary to Hilaria before she met him.
Wait, are you telling me that you're not a yoga teacher from Spain?
Oh, like I am from how you say Boston, Massachusetts. From Massachusetts.
Oh my god.
She also seems insane, and like the one thing that I'll say before we move on that really fucking cracked my shit up is that Alec Baldwin is so allergic to cats that he has had to go to the hospital and get like a EpiPen, get an epinephrine injection. Okay, Hilaria, after that, knowing all of that, purchased 4 cats. Your husband is so allergic to cats that he has to go to the hospital, and you're like, I'm gonna buy 4 of them. She's trying to kill that man.
I think he actually secretly asked her to do that, hoping it would hasten his demise. Like just Hilaria. More cats, please, Hilaria.
More cats, more cats.
Smother me with a pillow, please. End this.
Just end it. Just please. Just feed me some cat hairs in my sleep. I'm begging you. And then the end of the episode where she's like making this seating chart for driving to the Hamptons. And how does it end? It ends with her with all of the kids and Alec Baldwin alone in a car with 3 cats. She wants the man dead.
She's like, yeah, this is her master plan. Get rid of him. Just like
just
gently.
The cats are going to kill him.
Yeah, that'll be it. He'll have like an allergy attack in the Hamptons. That'll be the end.
She'll have her ofrenda to Alec in the house, with all of her little sugar skulls and whatnot.
I found myself, I'm going to be honest, I like both of them. I have
That's
sympathy.
crazy, Brad. That is so crazy.
I don't have a problem. I think she seems. I mean, look, everybody's fucked up. They're not any more
Uh,
fucked up than most people. I don't
yes,
know.
they are. They absolutely are more fucked up than most people. Are you crazy? They
I
have
don't know.
7 kids and the dad just did a murder and he's like in a house full of fucking the thing he's most allergic to in the world. And his wife is like this young thing and he's just like old, like, bleh, and they're fucking getting frosting all over the place. They are like insane people. They are so different than other people.
Every time he so much as like wipes down like anything, like he's got
Oh, his OCD,
yeah,
his OCD.
he's accused of being mentally ill.
They are so fucked up. The family is so fucked up. Like, that is not a normal family. That is not a healthy family. Like, that's wild.
I don't know though. I kind of feel like I mean those kids didn't seem that unhappy. Maybe they are. I don't know. At least they're
The kids didn't
together.
seem that unhappy. They seem fine, but the family is fucked. Also, he has a daughter who just like wasn't even mentioned or talked about in the show. The one who he called a pig in a voicemail, who's like much older.
Well, yeah, she's like in her 30s. She probably wants no part of this. Maybe she'll come in
I
a
mean,
later episode. Who knows?
but they kept saying like we have 7 kids. That doesn't include the older one.
Well, yeah, I mean, but they have 7 together. Like Ireland is not like Ilaria is like 5 years older than
It's
her
the other.
stepdaughter.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, and they can't show that in the show. That's not very family friendly. Like good look for Alec.
I am your stepmother. It's so good to meet you. You are my precious stepdaughter. All
My
right.
precious.
Yeah, whatever. Like imagine like having
My
a
God.
stepmom who's like, you know, like I don't know how old Ireland is. She's got to be like 33 or something.
You know what, Brad? I got to tell you, I don't have to imagine because my dad married a woman who is 3 years older than my older brother, and they're 6 years older than me, and they got divorced. But yeah, no, I did experience it.
How was it? What was it like?
You know, it was super weird at first. At first, I was like, "What the fuck are you doing, Dad?" Because my dad is a fucking asshole and a nightmare, but she was also his employee at the place that he worked, and then they started dating and got married. And at first, I was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And now I hardly talk to my dad, and I'm very, very good friends with my ex stepmom.
Yeah, you guys are going out for like champagne and
Yeah. No, I
brunch.
like literally we're very good friends. I after they got divorced, I was like, I totally get why you divorced my dad and I think you're cool and let's be friends. And she was like, sick.
Solidarity. All right. Well, I mean, I think we'll keep watching. Are we going to keep watching the Baldwins? Is this something
Oh
you
yeah, I'm gonna keep watching
All
for
right.
sure. We'll do maybe a short report on the Baldwins each episode just to keep everyone updated on anything that happens that's exciting.
Well, I think episode 2 we can predict. I think we should, you know, we can
Oh
end by
yeah,
making
predictions.
I feel like episode 2 is the dismissal of his case in
Yeah.
and the crying. Remember the video? Did you see the video of them
Yeah,
like
it's the crying. I was gonna say it's like I think episode 2 is gonna be like whole family discussing the case. Like you know, it was exonerated, but we still feel fucking terrible or whatever, and like let's all as a family discuss it. And now it's gonna cry.
so there'll be a lot of tears, but it's also the redemption. Like this case was always frivolous.
I mean, but like, and that is how they're gonna pose it. But that is absolutely not what happened. What happened is the family dropped the case because Alec paid them. It was not a court settlement. It was a totally like
Well, I think there was also
the
something that the prosecution did was out of order, and that was why the judge dismissed it. It was
dismissed the case by the state, but the family was paid off almost right away.
well, yeah, of
So like
course.
the charge that he is fighting is a charge from like the state or something, like a manslaughter charge, and then eventually they dropped it because the family dropped it, and they were like, whatever, or maybe they did something, I don't know.
Yeah, but I think like when you pay off that family, they sign an NDA, so they're not going to be.
Yeah,
That's done.
yeah, they're not going to say anything. That's like, man, they got paid millions. I hope.
You would guess, you know, you would think they got paid many millions, but who knows? So that's episode 1 of the Baldwins. Next week we're going to talk about the tiers most likely, and what else is going on in pop culture.
So this week was the SAG Awards, which I watched, and it was a little weird, honestly. I think the teleprompter was maybe a little broken because everybody seemed like they were just drunk and like insane, and it was very stilted and strange.
They
But
probably were drunk and insane, I would imagine.
yeah, and I think the teleprompter was broken, honestly.
So
It was like giving them the lines at weird times and shit like that. So Timothy Chalamet won. What did he win? I guess it was like best actor
Yeah.
or something like
Yeah.
that.
He
Whatever
beat
the SAG version is.
it was an upset. He beat Adrian Brody.
Oh, good. I didn't see either movie, but I know that Adrian Brody's accent was enhanced by AI, and frankly, I think that should make it so that he is like not eligible for an Oscar. That's insane.
Have we talked about Adrian Brody's Instagram presence? I follow him on Instagram. It's so funny. He does these selfie
What is
videos
it?
where he just like walks around like wherever he is. He's in New York and he's just like, "Hey everybody,
Oh my god.
I'm super grateful. Just feeling good." It's actually, it's kind of positive and nice, and
That's alienating as hell. When I see shit like that, I'm like, who the fuck is just walking down the street being like, wow, I feel good. Like, everything's great. I love everybody. Like, no. I'm like, wow, this is fucked. That's fucked. I'm anxious about X, Y, and Z. Like, what?
Yeah, I can't do the whole selfie video phenomenon of like people just talking into their phones makes me anxious. The whole thing.
Because it's like looking at yourself. Like, right now, like, I have like a notes thing covering my face because like I can't look at myself and talk at the same time or I'll get distracted.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can do it, but I don't really look at myself. I just have like I'm just eyes down trying to think of what I got
Yeah.
to say.
Yeah, exactly. Jesus. Well, I'm glad Adrian Brody lost at least. I'm not sure who else was even up for the category.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. But Timothy Chalamet won. I haven't seen that movie, but I have heard him sing like Bob Dylan, and I do have to say it's really impressive. He did spend like fucking 5 years or something like that learning how to play guitar and how to sing like that, and it is like incredibly impressive, like crazy.
I've seen the movie twice.
Twice.
Yeah, I took my daughter to see it because I wanted her to know who Bob Dylan is.
To know who Bob Dylan is, Jesus fucking
It's
Christ.
part of her cultural education. Like, I don't think she doesn't have to be a super fan or anything, but it's just like you should know who this guy is. I feel like.
Yeah, that was like my parents with like Led Zeppelin or whatever the fuck
Well,
Gen
yeah.
X shit.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, Dylan is this kind of a singular. Like, he's a Nobel Prize in literature. It's like so
He
singular.
shouldn't have fucking won the Nobel Prize in Literature. That's so stupid. He's a musician. Like, fucking save that shit for the poor writers.
He's a poet. He's a poet.
He's a man.
He's a poet
I'm a
of the.
poet.
He's a poet of the
Don't you
soul.
know it? What is that? Who wrote that song about making fun of Bob Dylan where it's like, I'm a poet, don't you know it? And the wind, you can blow it. It's like, oh fuck, it was like a member of Pink Floyd or something. It was like, it was so funny. Well, so Timothy Chalamet won, and he gave a speech that was very talked about where he basically, well, we have a clip of it, and I will play it so that we are all up to date about what Timothy said. So I skipped through the part where he said that his mom works for the stage union, which is like SAG but for stage actors for 40 years, which I thought was very cool. And he thanks some people, whatever, and then he began this part of his speech.
You know, I know the classiest thing would be to downplay the effort that went into this role and how much this means to me, but the truth is, this was 5.5 years of my life. I poured everything I had into playing this incomparable artist, Mr. Bob Dylan, a true American hero, and it was the honor of a lifetime playing him. It's an honor I share with Monica, Elle, Edward, the entire cast, who in a genre doing a biopic that could be perhaps tired. Everyone gave it their all. So I'm deeply grateful to them.
Blah, blah, blah.
And lastly, I can't downplay the significance of this award because it means the most to me. And I know we're in a subjective business, but the truth is, I'm really in pursuit of greatness. I know people don't usually talk like that, but I want to be one of the greats. I'm inspired by the greats. I'm inspired by the greats here tonight. I'm as inspired by Daniel Day-Lewis, Marlon Brando, and Viola Davis as I am by Michael Jordan and Michael Phelps, and I want to be up there. So I'm deeply grateful to that. This doesn't signify that, but it's a little more fuel, it's a little more ammo to keep going. Thank you.
So that was a speech.
Ernest.
It was earnest, and I'm not a big Timothy Chalamet fan, and like a lot of people who have been like really charmed by this press cycle that he's done for this movie, I've kind of found him like really coked up and annoying, and I'm just like not into his whole thing.
He's not coked
But
up. Is he coked up?
can can you not spot a coked up person from like a mile? I feel like someone could be like snorting cocaine in front of you and you'd be like, they're not coked up. Like, no, like
I'm too
you
tired. I'm too
cannot spot a
tired.
person on drugs.
Yeah.
Somebody could come up to you and be like, Brad, I am on drugs right now. And you'd be like, you know, kind of like, I don't think they're on drugs. I think they're fine.
When you get old, you lose your ability. You're too tired to to identify.
No, my mom can spot when people are on drugs. She's older than you, and she'll be like, Mira, your friend's on acid. I can tell. Like, she knows. This is a Brad specific thing.
I just don't think I pay attention to Timothy Chalamet's like press tour.
That's probably more what it is. It's like I like watched his interview with Nardwuar and shit like that, and I just like whatever. I did appreciate what a big Nardwuar fan he was, though. Nardwuar does deserve that respect.
What did you just say? What is Nerdwar?
Nardwuar?
Nardwuar.
Oh, see, you gotta put some respect on Nardwar's name, Brad. Nardwuar, the human serviette. He's a Canadian music interviewer, music journalist, and he's look. If anyone listening doesn't know who Nardwuar is, just look up Nardwar's YouTube channel and click on a musician who you really like and watch the interview, and you'll understand.
Okay, Brad learns.
Just trust me. He's this can be your Brad learns. We'll talk about Nardwuar next week. So, and he did an interview with him, blah, 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 whatever. That speech, I weirdly found myself kind of endeared to, actually. I kind of appreciated the way that he wasn't pretending like, you know, like, oh, I like, you know, I'm so shocked and like, I don't know how this happened, blah. He, you know, was honest that I put a lot of work into this role. I really, you know, I put 5.5 years into making sure that I was playing this right and that I was like doing it well because I want to be one of the greats. And I'm inspired by X, Y, and Z, great people. I don't know if he'll ever get there. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. Who knows? But like, I appreciate him being honest about what his ambition is. I appreciate him being like, you know, saying outright, like, I want to put in so much work and put in this much effort into all of my roles until I am one of the greats. And like, yeah, all right. That like annoyed me way less than like most of the other things that he said.
Mira and I want to be among the great podcasters in the history of planet Earth.
Yeah, I'm really inspired by the greats, like the Mark Marons and, you know, and Joe Rogan, you know, and I want to be up there with them.
Ben Shapiro.
Ira Glass.
Ben Shapiro is a true hero of ours. He's a podcasting icon, and he gives us something to reach for.
Yeah, you know, he gives us something to look at, something to hope for, that one day we can be like that. That is my goal in podcasting. Is this has been, you know, 1/2 of a year of my life that I've put into this, and I want to make sure that I'm seen up there with the best podcasters of all podcasters. I'm struggling to even think of another podcaster. Call Her Daddy. I want to be up there with Call Her Daddy in the great podcasting hall of legends.
What are they? They need to have like a podcast awards show. What's that going to be called? Like,
True. Like
the podcasting.
Potties.
I want to win a potty.
Maybe it'll just be like the SAG Awards, where like when you win, like, oh, and the podcaster goes to. That's the name of the award.
The pod.
Like how in SAG, it's the actor goes to, which always felt really awkward to me.
So Timothy Chalamet, you don't think he's not, you know, I don't think he thinks he's great yet, but he's like striving for greatness or whatever.
Yeah.
But what the fuck does that even mean?
Like,
what does it even mean?
I mean, I think it means that he's just like, I don't know if he's like the smartest, most articulate, whatever guy, but it means that he's like being honest. I think he's like saying like, I don't want to just be an actor who's like, you know, doing this as a job, whatever. Like, I want to put in as much work as I possibly can to be like a Daniel Day-Lewis or whatever the fuck. And like, yeah, that's all right. Like, I appreciate that he's not saying I am one of the greats, or like, I put in so much effort to this role and I did a great job, thanks. Like, he's saying like, I tried really hard, I'm going to keep doing that because I want to be one of the greats eventually, and I hope you'll like let me do that.
I do feel like, and I think there are very few truly great people doing anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, greatness is very, very rare. Like Daniel Day-Lewis, though, I can see it. Like, if I'm not even paying that close of attention, but like his performance in There Will Be Blood, and then his performance in Lincoln, I mean,
up there with the best performances of all time, easily.
The guy's incredible. He's doing
He is
something different than everybody else is doing, is what it feels like.
he is incredible. And I will also say he's an incredible actor who does not have like any complaints about him on set. He's also like a character actor or like a method actor or whatever, which I find incredibly annoying. But nobody on set has ever been like he, was bad or mean or inappropriate ever. And I appreciate that also because I think a lot of the greats, quote unquote, is like a Francis Ford Coppola where he's fucking torturing people in Vietnam in order to make Apocalypse Now.
I feel I went through a phase. I went down a rabbit hole of Daniel Day-Lewis fashion choices once because I was like,
Ooh, that's a good one.
he knows how to dress.
He knows how to dress. He
Yeah,
really does.
I don't,
That
but he
man looks
does.
good.
Yeah,
You know how to dress other people, seemingly, though.
yeah. I can evaluate your fashion, but I have no idea
Yeah.
what to wear personally.
I mean, yeah, he looks great all the time. When he did the Phantom Thread, which I think is maybe my favorite Paul Thomas Anderson movie, he designed and sewed a dress for his wife, which she wore to an awards show because he played a fashion designer in that movie. And it was a really impressively made dress. It looked great on her. I was
bet.
really fucking impressed.
He's a craftsman. He was when he retired from acting the first time. I want to say he moved to Italy and then learned how to become a cobbler. Like he became a shoemaker.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Damn. I like about him that he's a genuine weirdo. He's just like, I'm a weird fucking guy and I like doing this thing and I'm gonna like go fucking whole hog like Jeremy Strong. I appreciate that.
Wait,
Yeah, I guess
what
maybe
does Jeremy Strong do? They both are like method, like they stay in character on set and stuff.
like method, but just like also just like very serious about acting and just very like strange people who like have like had a like Jeremy Strong like loved Daniel Day-Lewis so much that he basically would just show up to set and be like, I'll work for you for free just to watch you be you on set, and was like his assistant and stuff on set and just like
When? Like back in the
lived in
day?
like yeah, back in the day, like when he was like a college student or when he was like going to school for theater, like he was like doing some stuff in like local plays, and he just like basically like instead of acting in plays for a while just followed Daniel Day-Lewis and just like begged him to let him be around him, and he did. And like Jeremy Strong was like, that's like how he learned what he does. It's like a big part of like how he just like figured out how to be an actor in movies. And like if watch any interview with Jeremy Strong, and like he is like hilariously serious about what he does in a way that like I really respect, actually, and I think is cool. I think we need more artists who are just like so deep in what they do that like they almost are like not regular humans.
That's how we are with this show.
Yeah.
People don't even realize how deeply weird we are about
I mean,
podcasting.
people don't know. I in my regular day-to-day life, like when I'm talking to Tyler, it's like I'm podcasting to him. I'm basically I'm basically doing method acting in my day-to-day life. I wake up and I say, "Hello, Tyler. Good morning and welcome to your day. Please subscribe at twitter.com."
I carry this microphone with me everywhere I go.
Mm-hmm.
People don't know. I'm in my house.
Yeah, it's not on, but it's just like it's a symbolic thing.
Yeah. No, you just have to I want to be close to it.
Who would you say among actors besides Daniel Day-Lewis are among the greats in your opinion?
I think Meryl Streep is clearly gifted.
Sorry.
Kate Blanchett, I think, is really strong.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm trying to think. Gary Oldman.
Yeah, Gary Oldman, that's a good one. Like, what
To-
is like somebody who's given a performance that you're just fucking floored by?
I mean, I think like honestly, well, you know who I was really floored. I always say like Halle Berry's performance in Monsters Ball was
Oh, true.
so intense and
Yeah.
so like it was just shocking. Like I'd never seen anything like that out of her, but that's like an all-time great performance.
Yeah, that was. She won an Oscar for that, right?
Yeah, I saw that movie with my fucking parents. It was like there's like a 9-minute sex scene between Billy Bob and Halle Berry that's like really raw. And it was like the holidays. I got to pick the movie and I was like, "Oh, this is getting good reviews." And then
And now you're watching porn with your parents.
yeah, I'm watching Billy Bob just thrusting.
That is so fucking funny. I think like Philip Seymour Hoffman is like maybe like top 3 ever
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
he
he's
is
one.
like way up there. Like I've never seen a performance of his where I wasn't just floored by how amazing he is. Like just to the point where like did you see Licorice Pizza?
Yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah, so like his son is the star of that movie, and
Right.
like Philip Seymour Hoffman's like acting style is so himself and so unique and so compelling that I could see in the kid's hand gestures. Like I was like, that's Philip Seymour Hoffman. I could see it in like two said like when he like got animated or whatever. Like it's in his fucking genes. It was crazy.
Yeah,
Like
he was amazing, Philip Seymour. You know,
he was so good.
there was the last movie that he ever did, I wanna
The
say.
Hunger Games.
No, maybe that was the last one he ever,
It
like,
was
technically appeared. No,
unfortunately.
but the one that he starred in, and it was set in, like, Hamburg, Germany. I'm totally forgetting the name of it, but I saw it in the theater, I wanna say, and he didn't look good. He looked like he was in bad health,
Yeah.
and he was looking rough, but he's so good in it. I, uh I don't know. It's like a movie that I think most people haven't even seen. What is it called? Now it's gonna drive me crazy.
Man, the scene that I always think of with Philip Seymour Hoffman is in Punch Drunk Love, which like it's maybe my least favorite Paul Thomas Anderson movie, honestly. But like his performance when he picks up the phone and Adam Sandler is calling and he's like, "No, no, no, shut the fuck up! You shut the fuck up right now! No, shut the fuck up!" Like
Shut,
it is
shut,
the
shut,
fucking
shut, shut the fuck.
exactly shut the fuck up. Like it is the fucking fun. Like I cannot not fucking crack the. I've seen it a dozen times, like, and it is still the fucking funniest thing. Like, it is. I don't know how like the fucking people on set didn't like fuck it up by laughing. Like, it's so good.
Yeah, I'm
Just
trying.
incredible.
He's amazing.
If you still haven't found whatever that movie is,
I'm gonna find it. That's gonna drive me
yeah,
up
you're
the
gonna find
wall.
it.
Where does?
I would say another one, and I think you're gonna scoff at this, but I mean it 100% earnestly, is Nick Cage,
No, I
and
agree.
not
I agree.
because
I agree. But I just
yeah.
think he's the popular choice among like the cool kids.
See, but like I feel like a lot of people like will say that about Nick Cage in like almost like an ironic way. Like, oh, like he's like, like in what, like the fucking Wicker Man and he's got bees in his fucking helmet and he's like, bees, or he's like, losing his mind in National Treasure or whatever, like I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence. Like, and he's funny. That's funny. I find it funny too. But like when he's being serious, when he's giving well, first of all, I've said before, he gives 200% to every single role, no matter how stupid the movie is. And I cannot help but just have like so much respect for that. It makes him one of the greats just alone. But also, just his dramatic acting is so fucking impressive. Adaptation, incredible. Like, he deserves fucking a million Academy Awards for that. Fucking, what is it, Moonstruck with Cher?
Yeah, yeah.
Amazing. Wild at Heart, my favorite David Lynch movie. I mean, he is so fucking good. Like he deserves every award. Give him the Nobel Peace Prize in literature or whatever.
The Nobel Peace Prize in Literature.
Yeah, give him both.
The movie that I was trying to think of is called A Most Wanted Man, the Philip Seymour Hoffman movie. A Most Wanted Man.
Oh,
I liked it.
did I see that? What is that movie?
It's really good. It's by Anton Corbin or something. I don't know. It was just like a
I don't
weird
know.
European thing about like CIA or something. I don't know. But
Hmm.
I think that Joaquin Phoenix is a good actor.
True. Yeah, he's up there
Uh,
for sure.
and and I think like, the thing is like when we're talking about greatness, like there are great performances and then there are like great actors across a career. And like
Right.
that's like the real thing. If you can do it like movie after movie after movie and like keep redefining yourself and all that kind of stuff, I think that's what it
So
is.
like the standard that my family uses for what determines a truly great director is 3 truly great movies. So like, I'll say Paul Thomas Anderson, right? Phantom Thread, Boogie Nights, fucking The Master. Easily one of the great directors of all time. 3 movies.
There Will Be Blood is his
But
best movie.
There Will Be Blood, like he has fucking so many of the best movies, just incredibly great movies. But then there's some directors who you're like, okay, they have something, but do they have 3? And like to me, those people are not the great directors. And maybe it's the same for actors. Do they have 3 incredibly iconic performances? Then I think they're a great actor, all-time great actor. And like Philip Seymour Hoffman, easily. Nick Cage, easily. Meryl Streep, I would maybe argue no.
Oh, please.
I'm
She's
not a big Meryl Streep fan. I feel like she's kind of samey.
really no. I mean, I think like The Devil Wears Prada, amazing.
That is a truly great role. She was incredible.
Yeah, and then like Sophie's Choice, Silkwood, Kramer versus Kramer,
I would give her.
Adaptation,
I feel like adaptation was easy. She did it like she did. She didn't make any choices in that role. I don't think.
The
I
Iron
think
Lady.
Sophie's Choice. No,
She
fucking absolutely no Margaret Thatcher. Absolutely not.
well, just because you don't like her politics, but like the performance was pretty great. I mean, she's amazing at accents. You got to give Meryl Streep credit for
She's good
being.
at accents. That's true.
She
Yeah,
can.
I mean, she's like a classically trained actor who is very good at what she does, but she's unlike a Daniel Day Lewis, I would say, or even like a Halle Berry. Like she's not making weird choices and like different choices that make it go from like a really good actor to like a truly great role. I would say she in Devil Wears Prada, maybe.
I think that yeah. I mean, I honestly, if I'm being really truthful, the only one that really truly stands out to me as somebody who's like touched and has like just like an elevated greatness about them is Daniel Day. Like that's the
I
only
would say Daniel Day and Philip Seymour Hoffman.
maybe yeah. Like that guy is just like I mean like watching There Will Be Blood when he's like enraged and freaking out and stuff. You're just like oh my god like
Terrifying.
he's just fully that person. That's the thing. It's like a
Yeah,
it's like it's not like a 98% transformation. It's like 100%
yeah.
he's the
You
guy.
forget it's Daniel Day Lewis. And for somebody so famous who you're like, that's Daniel Day Lewis, like in your head always, you fucking forget. He's so in the role.
So I love like Abraham Lincoln history. Like that's my like middle-aged man shit. Like I love to read about
Why?
he's a fascinating guy. And he was like
Is he?
yeah, and he was like really a real I mean like a truly gifted writer as a politician, which is sort of rare. Like
Hmm.
when you read like what Abraham Lincoln wrote, like it's always just like so perfect. And he's like
Did he
an
write his own speeches?
yeah, and he's like on paper, you know, and he's like an uneducated dude from like, you know, like hill country in like southern Indiana and Kentucky who like raised himself basically. But it's just a fascinating figure in history that like I've read about. And so I had all this like context in my head for him. And then that movie Lincoln came out and it was thrilling. I could not believe how perfectly he embodied. I mean, he like matched my imagination and then some of like what Lincoln would have actually been like. So
So like the movie Lincoln was like your era's tour. That was like probably really exciting for you.
I was trading wristbands with
Yeah, bracelets.
people. Yeah, like
You're trading like Abraham Lincoln hats.
I don't know, but like I think Lincoln also did some sketchy shit earlier in his career, like with respect to
Did he own
slavery.
slaves?
No,
Yeah.
no, it was just more like I don't think he was always like on the right side of history with that stuff. But like, you know, it was also you have to take him in context as a man of his time. Like he did move, so at least there's that. But
Yeah, he might have been a bad person, but that doesn't mean he wasn't interesting and maybe did some things that were cool and like worthwhile, even though he was a very bad man, probably personally.
I don't think he was. I don't think he was. I mean, it's like, you
I
know,
don't really think any president is a good person personally.
yeah, I was gonna say on the spectrum of like politicians, he's probably he
Yeah, maybe on the spectrum of politicians, yeah.
deserves
Like
his
maybe he's
place.
not the fucking worst, but
It's like
yeah, I don't know. I don't really trust any president.
yeah, damning him with faint praise.
Well,
So I feel like Timmy Chalamet. I like how everybody calls him Timmy. It's like our little.
yeah,
He's like our little Timmy. He's like this
it's
cute
Timmy
little
Tim.
Timmy Tim. That's right. He's like a little. It's like a little mouse. He seems like a mouse to me.
Maybe that's why he wanted to do that speech, because he could be like, I'm not a little mouse. I'm not a little boy. I want to be one of the greats.
Stop calling me Timmy Tim.
It's not my name.
I'm scaling the
I'm
mountain.
Timothy.
I'm scaling the mountain of acting greatness. I'm not a chinchilla. Leave me alone.
Stop petting my head.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody's like, oh, he's kind of androgynous too. I think Tim,
Yeah.
he'd be a
He's like
hot
kind of like a
woman.
beautiful boy.
Yeah, he's like a
He
pretty.
could probably do drag. Like probably have a great drag persona. It could be like,
Oh, he'll do it.
I don't even know.
He wants that Oscar. He'll do it. He'll do all sorts of different roles. It's coming.
I mean, that Timmy playing a drag queen, I would be sated for that.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably in the pipeline.
Well, I'm not sure how to transition to our. I've been sitting here for the last about 10 seconds trying to think of what a clever transition to our next story would be, and
Well, speaking of transitioning, our next story.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with transitioning, by the way. That was just the best we could do. So apparently, on Qatar Airlines, there was a couple who were going to Italy for their dream vacation, and they they were on their way from Melbourne to Venice, and they were sitting next to somebody who died mid-flight, and they just left the dead body next to them, and they did the entire flight next to a corpse.
Okay, so a woman collapsed in the aisle next to them and died mid-flight. In an interview with Australia's A Current Affair, the upset couple said the deceased woman was placed next to them with a blanket over her body, and they were not given the option to change their seats for the remainder of the long-haul flight.
Even though there were empty seats. How can they be like, you gotta sit next to the dead body, you can't move back to 24C? Sorry. What? Like, there has to be other options, right?
I think there should be rules that if you're on a plane and somebody dies and there's no place to put them, like there's not like an empty row, then you either have to like stand the corpse up in the lavatory or just slide it off the plane. Like just throw it off the plane.
Like just open the emergency door and just whoop.
Yeah, just let it go out into the ocean. People will understand.
If they did that, do you think they would put a parachute on the dead body first?
No, I think you just let it
so
fall.
So it didn't splatter?
I think it's just you find some open water. I think you got to fly out over the ocean somewhere, and then you just open the door.
I mean, I wonder, like, what there has to be like protocol for flight attendants. Like, if someone dies on the plane, you do X, and is that protocol to be you put them in a seat and you make somebody sit next to them?
Take it back to where they make the food, or back to the little, what do they call it? The kitchen.
Put it in the kitchen. That's a great idea. Let's put it back to where we make. Let's take the corpse and put it where we make the food. What could possibly go wrong?
What they should do is they should have like in those overhead compartments, there should be like a section of the plane where there's no partition between the like 3 or 4 overhead compartments, so that worst case,
just put them in the overhead.
Yeah, you just slide the body in there.
I mean, I gotta say, like, as insane as what you just said is, I had assumed that there would be some kind of protocol where they have a place to put a body if someone dies. Like, if you're seating someone next to a dead body, that seems like real lawsuit territory. Like, it just like for example, I was recently reading about cruise ships, which I will never go on, and I think are just the epicenter of hell. And if you read too much about them like I did, you'll feel the same way, because cruise ships, they have prisons, they have jails, so if somebody fucks up and needs to be locked up, they can be locked up in literally the brig, and they have morgues. They have chilled morgues for dead bodies on cruise ships. Why don't they have that on planes? Just one slot even for a dead body? It just seems like that would be something that you maybe want to have.
There should be like a little chute, like you open like a door. You open a door in the floor of the plane, because they do have like where they put all the luggage, right? Like they have that like
right, the under compartment underneath the plane.
There should just be like a door in the floor, and if somebody dies, you can just like slide their body into like a chute, and it just goes down in there.
What if it was like the toilet in the lavatory where you just like push a button and then something opens and they just go like whoop?
If I die on a plane, I truly I grant permission to them to just throw my body off the plane into the ocean.
100%.
Yeah.
If I die, they could put my body in the lavatory. They could just shove me under there with all the fucking luggage. I do whatever. And I'm dead at that point. Do whatever the fuck you want with my body. I don't care.
Yeah, like this is like what? I mean, from where was it from? Was it from Qatar?
It was from Australia to Venice, Italy.
Oh my God. And you're sitting on this.
It's a long flight.
Yeah, that's like a 15-hour flight, and you're sitting next to a corpse for like 8 hours. Forget it.
I mean, that's like disturbing even for the people in the row ahead and the row next to them. Like the whole plane at that point is traumatized. I don't want to sit next to a fucking dead body.
And don't you shit your pants when you die? I've always heard that. Like you evacuate your bowel at the moment of death.
I mean, I think only if there's something in your bowels.
Well, there's always something in most people's bowels, right? Nobody's got like a completely clean system. If you die and it goes completely
Oh my
slack,
god.
this woman, like there's a corpse that might have just shit its pants next to you for 8 hours with its mouth
I feel
open.
like if the corpse shit its pants, it would be in the article, right? Like they'd be like, "Oh, this is like horrifying," and also it shit his pants. Like, oh my god. So they were asked to remain seated, and they didn't even attempt to keep the woman covered. They didn't even attempt to like keep her face under a blanket.
Ugh,
Just a fucking open dead body right there.
that's a
What the
lot.
fuck?
Imagine they bring you like, would you like any food? We're
Like,
so.
oh, with the fucking dead lady right there?
Would you
Like,
like?
what the fuck?
Would you like some airplane food, like turkey with gravy and some peas and
Ugh. Oh my god. Also, the dead lady had the aisle seat, meaning they would have to like walk over her every time they had to go to the bathroom.
yeah. See, I'm suing Qatar Airways if I'm this couple. I'm hiring a lawyer.
I mean, I am like, yeah, instantly going into like PTSD therapy and getting a fucking PTSD whatever examination, and then I am fucking calling up a lawyer right the fuck away, and I'm getting so much money from Qatar Airlines. Like that's crazy.
Imagine putting like a parachute. That would be kind of funny. Like if you had a parachute on the corpse.
That's what I mean. Like if you just parachuted the corpse like down to a whatever area, and then somebody's just like hanging out in their yard, dead body, just parachuting right into your yard,
But there's like
gently landing on the ground.
but one of the flight attendants is a trained skydiver, like that has to accompany the corpse, right? You can't just like send the corpse alone. I
You
think
could.
no, but you have like a like
Oh, you
a
have to like push the. You have to make the parachute go out.
well that, but yeah, maybe it's a tandem thing, but it's also like you got the flight attendant skydiving with the corpse, and then also taking like one of those videos. So like
Like from skydiving, like
yeah,
the corpse's like eyes are like fluttering in the fucking breeze.
that's
His
right.
arms are flapping all around.
That's right. Grandma's final descent. She went out like a rock star.
I mean, honestly, like it's kind of a spectacular way to die.
That's what
I
I'm
don't mind
saying.
it.
I'm like, if I die on an airplane, I think it would be kind of cool to just like send my body out into
Yeah.
the atmosphere. Just let it go.
I mean, I wonder also if they're gonna get sued by the family of the person who died. Like, you fucking exposed her body to like, undignified things by having her fucking face exposed to every like buddy on the whole cabin,
Ugh.
and not like doing like why didn't they do an emergency landing? It seems like at that point it's like you land at like the closest airline or closest airport.
Well, maybe they did, but I mean, like you're flying from Australia to Venice. Like God knows where you are. You're like,
Jesus, are they just above the ocean the whole fucking time?
well, and like maybe this woman who died was like an Italian national or something. They're just like, okay, we'll take her home, unload her.
I mean, Jesus, it seems like land at an airport and have her take her own plane, like without other fucking passengers.
Or like, yeah, or like get her into a coffin or something and put her in the cargo hold. That's what it's called, the cargo hold.
The cargo hold. Put grandma in the cargo hold.
It's nice and cold in there. It'll preserve her.
Jesus fucking Christ. Like I never considered the need for morgues on a cruise ship, and until I read about it, and I had never considered the need for a morgue on a plane until I read the story. But it does seem like maybe having somewhere to put the body might be good, although like if there's are they not allowed to move it?
Or you have like some sort of like bungee cords situation.
You could
So,
strap it to the wing of the plane.
yeah, you just like have like there's like a chute. You basically tie the bungee cords around the ankles of the dead person, put them in the chute, and then you basically like tow them. They're kind of like flapping behind the plane as the plane flies.
Or maybe you could have just like a really quick thinking stewardess come in and just like weekend at Bernie's him, just like throw a blanket on, throw a mask on, throw, some sunglasses on. They're just sleeping. No problem. No one ever has to know.
Well, R.I.P. This poor person. That's a shitty
Yeah,
place.
RIP to whoever that was.
Yeah, what a shitty way to die. I mean, on a domestic or like on an international flight, you're just like keel
God.
over.
Just fucking sitting there, like dying on a plane too. God, planes are so unpleasant.
It's so gross. It's so there's no way that it's sanitary. That's what I always think. But I think this about like restaurants and hotels too. Like everything's dirty.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably true of your own house too. But at least it's your dirt.
No, I have OCD. I'm constantly wiping my house down, and
I have OCD. I always want my house to be clean. It's the weirdest thing.
yeah, I'm so sick. I
I'm,
I don't like to live in filth. Something must be wrong with me.
I'm so mentally ill that like I really feel like I need to wipe down the counters right now. Call the psychiatrist. I'm doing a load of laundry.
Give me a break.
Oh my God.
Alec. You're OCD. You're OCD.
Alec, you have to stop. You have to stop doing that. You're how you say obsessive compulsive disorder.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone, Hilaria. I'm 66 years old. I'm tired.
So I think that leads us to Brad Learns. And the theme song.
Brad Learns.
Sucking his ways, won't turn the page. Man's got the scoop about TV shows.
Theme song, original theme song by Brad Listi. So today's Brad Learns. Brad's a musician now. You can see him on tour in Vegas soon. So the next story is kind of involves Real Housewives, which is one of my favorite topics. So Denise Richards' daughter, Sammy, is now making $3 million from OnlyFans, or has made $3 million from her OnlyFans account.
And how long? How long did this take?
She's been on there for a couple of years. Let's see.
What's she doing?
Totally sure. I'm gonna
What's
guess
she
like
doing?
2 years.
Is she doing sex work online? What is she doing?
I mean, I think it's like, yeah, you know, it's sex work, but it's I think she only does like solo, like nudes, basically. Like just like of herself. I think she just posts nudes. Is pretty much all. I mean, I don't subscribe, so I don't know, but like it's like nudes, or like she'll like dress up in like lingerie and like do special photo shoots like that or whatever, and then you subscribe and you get the pictures. So she said in 2022, so she's been doing it for a while, that it was her primary source of income. She offers a 30-day free trial and then charges $19.99 a month for exclusive access to her content.
And wait, she's not having sex or anything, or like doing anything like overtly sexual.
No, she's not doing. I mean, it is overtly sexual in that she's like, I don't know, she might be masturbating or something. There might be videos. It's like herself, you know, nude, doing kind of sexy poses or whatever. Probably like.
Well, no,
very,
but that's different. See, this is the thing. Like, is she just like in lingerie or like topless, or is she actually like, you know,
fully nude?
Okay, well, but the question is like, is she like having sex on camera or masturbating on camera?
It appears that she is not having sex on camera. She might be masturbating on camera. The thing about OnlyFans is that you subscribe and then you can get, you know, whatever photos she posts per month. And this is just saying photos and not video, so it might just be photos. Yeah, I'm not totally sure. But and so some people just do photos, and then also when you subscribe, usually you can have people message you and do like requests for personalized content, and like pay extra for it. So it's certainly possible that people like message her and ask for videos of her masturbating or whatever and pay $1 bajillion, and then she does it. So but it seems like for subscribing the $19.99 a month subscription, I think it looks like it's just fully nude photos, pretty much.
And she made $3 million in how long?
She's been doing it since 2022. So 3 years.
So she's making basically $1 million a year. Just posting, just taking photos of herself in underwear.
Oh, she does videos too. So I don't know if she's like literally masturbating, but she's definitely doing like pretty much all you can do as a solo person porn wise.
And that's Charlie Sheen's daughter?
Yes. So Sammy Sheen she's the daughter of Denise Richards and Charlie Sheen. And I know about her because she was featured on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills when Denise Richards was on the show. And she only started doing OnlyFans after Denise left the show. But Denise has come back as what they call a friend of in Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, which is not, you know, a cast member, but a friend who shows up sometimes. And she, at that time when she was a friend of, a lot of people were like kind of shaming Denise and shaming Sammy for Sammy having an OnlyFans account, you know, saying that it was whatever, trashy, irresponsible parenting, blah, blah, blah. And Denise Richards, good for her, love her, said, fuck y'all, and made her own OnlyFans account in solidarity with her daughter, basically.
And what's interesting is that Martin Sheen, who is Sammy's grandfather, also made his own OnlyFans.
Yes, he has been posting porn. He's very old, so it's pretty slow. It's like it takes a lot of time. You got to be really patient with it, but he's on there.
His scrotum is enormous.
It is long.
I was going to say
he's got a lengthy scrotum.
It's an astonishing feat.
Length. You could tie it in a knot if you wanted to.
He actually did that for me. I privately asked him to tie his scrotum in a knot.
It's like a song you get hanging on your shoulder like a continental soldier. Do your balls hang low?
Wait, what song is that?
Yeah, it's do your ears hang low? Do they wobble to and fro? Can you tie him in a knot? Can you tie him in a bow? Can you hang him on your shoulder like a continental soldier? Do your ears hang low? You never had to sing that song as a kid?
No, but it's your ears, not your balls.
Yeah, but you could change it to be your balls if you're Martin Sheen.
If you're Martin Sheen. Maybe he does. It's like a show tune.
Yeah, he plays it every time he's jerking off on camera. Each jerk off video is about an hour and a half long.
It's breathtaking to watch Martin Sheen masturbate on camera. It's incredible.
So I'd probably pay a little bit of money to see that. Like if he had like a video like that, I'd probably pay like $20.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. Well, I want to
pay $50.
Let's get in on this, Mira. When are we going to start our OnlyFans?
I mean, look, frankly, I think we'll be making the majority of the money on our OnlyFans account. I think the Mira side of things might be pulling my own weight. Not to toot my own horn, but I think I might be pulling the full weight of the OnlyFans account.
I think my appeal is greater than you might imagine. I think there are people out there who would pay good money to see me in my underwear.
I mean, look, maybe the fans of your literary podcast, I mean, I don't know if being in your underwear is going to do it though, Brad. I think you might have to strip down a little more than that.
Just, they want videos of me podcasting shirtless. Just
Exactly. Just podcasting shirtless. They'll pay any amount of money for it. We're going to become millionaires. This is how we monetize the podcast.
I think. And we, we'll get our respective, entertainment attorneys involved, and we'll negotiate some sort of fee structure.
90-10 split, 90 for Mira.
Mira gets 90% for the, for what is it, feet pics? Like, what would you do? Like with the OnlyFans, like, and be honest, like you would never like pose nude for OnlyFans, would you?
Oh, for enough money, I absolutely would.
You would.
It wouldn't even like take that much. If I could make a living off of doing that, like a good living, like, yeah, why the fuck not?
Damn.
I'm young. I'm probably like not getting any hotter. That's for sure. I'm only getting older. So like, why the fuck not? Fuck it. I mean, sex work is work, people. It's like, that's the thing about OnlyFans. It's like, it's not just like something that you could fall back on and easily do if, you decide that you just like aren't too ashamed to be naked or whatever. It actually like is a job. You have to kind of brand yourself. You have to like, wear certain clothes. You have to get the right lighting for these photos. You have to take many of them. You have to interact with the people on OnlyFans. It's a full-time job. But if I could make a good living off of it, hell yeah, I would do I would do everything. Like 100%. I mean, I don't think I would like, fuck other people on camera, but like, yeah, why not? I would do all of it. I think that though my niche probably would be weird fetish content, like feet pics, like cracking eggs with my feet, maybe like hair stuff. Some people really like hair. Like my mom has been approached on the street by hair fetishists before. If I like made my hair really shiny and straight, maybe something like that, like people are into smoking. Smoking is a fetish, so like, hey, I could do that.
I'll be doing jowl fetish content for people who are really into middle-aged men with advancing jowls.
The OnlyFans will just be like me doing actual porn, and then like you like filming like yourself saying hi to people when you're doing a hike. Every like an Adrian Brody style like front-facing video. Hey guys, I'm just out here walking in Griffith Park, and the air is so crisp and beautiful, and I love everyone.
I'll be shirtless and wearing a straw hat, just walking around in sunshine.
Everyone's looking at you like, why is he talking? Who's he talking to?
Have you seen Adrian Brody? You haven't seen his Instagram, have you?
I haven't, but I'm gonna after this immediately go and look at it.
God, he just like walks around, just like, and he's like in public, he's like walking around like
That's what's crazy. Like in public doing that. Like I like feeling what he's feeling at all, like I said, was just like insane to me. But in public being willing to just like talk like that in front of people is so fucking like I can't get into that mindset. I don't understand it. I can understand posting actual like fully nude porn of myself more than I can understand going and talking front facing camera outside of New York City.
Hey everybody, just feeling really grateful. Hope you're doing well. Spreading some love and good energy. That's the kind of
Yeah.
shit. That's the kind of shit he says.
That's psychotic. I mean, he's mentally ill, I'm pretty sure.
Do you think, Mira, would your mother get it? Like, would she start her own OnlyFans in solidarity with you if you did OnlyFans?
Absolutely not. No, I think I think if I started doing OnlyFans at first, she would be like, Mira, honey, like you're beautiful and that's great, but like, do you have like why? Like, please don't do that. And then if I did it for long enough, if people were shaming me for it, I think my mom would probably be like, fuck you guys. But she would definitely not start an OnlyFans in solidarity, no.
Okay, so you're going to impersonate Sammy Sheen, and I'm going to impersonate Martin Sheen. Okay, let's do a little like role-playing thing here. Well, there's my favorite granddaughter. How are you, Sammy?
Hi, Grandpa.
So, what's going on? How are you doing these days? What are you doing for a living?
Well, there's a guy who's he's been like, he's like messaging me and he kind of like wants me to like walk on eggs and spaghetti, but like I have to get like a pedicure for it. Can I have some money for a pedicure?
Well, sure, sweetheart. You're walking on spaghetti.
Yeah, will you make me some spaghetti, please?
Wait, are you on OnlyFans?
Grandpa, are you on OnlyFans?
I am the #1 scrotum fetish content creator on OnlyFans.
Oh my god, you're Scrotum Lover 69? And scene.
I mean, I just feel like, what do you tell your grandpa? I get like if your dad is Charlie Sheen and your mom is Denise Richards, they can roll with it. But like Martin Sheen seems such a square. Like his like precious granddaughter, and she's like, this is what she does with her life. She's just like taking nudes.
You know what? Honestly, I'm sure he doesn't like it, but I think as a parent, if your kid is like feeling okay about it and they're proud and they're making $3 million, at a certain point, you got to be like, all right, well, I guess I was wrong. I don't know. Cause like, damn, like that's like, she's making like Martin Sheen money off of being on OnlyFans.
She's getting like West Wing residual money. Like
she's getting probably like more money than Martin Sheen was paid for Apocalypse Now, I'll bet.
Well, no doubt. We adjusted for, I mean, I guess you would have to adjust for inflation, but it's
Yeah, but even then, I'll bet that she's making like, I'll bet he wasn't paid the equivalent of $3 million, and he almost died.
Is there a there's got to be a way to diversify. Like, do people make merch for their OnlyFans? Like, can you like make like coffee mugs and shit?
I mean, you can, but I think these girls are smarter than that, in that they just take their OnlyFans money and like invest it in a long-term way.
By the way, for those of you interested in the Brad and Mira OnlyFans, you can purchase coffee mugs with Mira's feet on them.
That's right. That's right.
It's a wonderful way to enjoy your your morning coffee.
Yeah, coffee mugs, hoodies, tumblers, bumper stickers,
tote bags. I mean,
yeah, tote bags.
The Mira's feet tote bags are just exquisite.
Now, I do think it should be mentioned that Denise Richards has made, I believe, what was it, $20 million off of OnlyFans? Like, she makes so much money per month off of OnlyFans. Let's see, how much does Denise Richards made on OnlyFans? She makes $2 million a month on OnlyFans. So there's an infamous scene in Real Housewives of Beverly Hills where Erica Jane is fighting with Denise Richards, and she says, hey Denise, how much money does Sammy make on OnlyFans? Do you make more money than Sammy on OnlyFans? And Denise is like, how dare you? And she's like, look, I'm just wondering which one of you makes more money. And I guess now we have our answer. Sammy does.
Oh wow. Well, I mean, she's the I mean, it's a young person's game, not to be ageist, but right? Like if you're on OnlyFans doing like sexy content, you're probably going to make more money. But
Denise is making $2 million a month. So that's not nothing. That's fucking crazy.
That's a good amount of money.
And for not doing porn, I mean, I think that should be noted, is that, like, most people who are making a lot of money on OnlyFans are absolutely doing porn. They're just doing nudes.
I think this could be
That's crazy.
This could be our ticket, Mira, to glory.
You're gonna write the coattails of my feet pics all the way to wealth and fortune.
That's right. Who knew? I've been doing literary podcasts for 15 years, wasting my time. What I really needed was an
Is a
OnlyFans.
stake in the Mira's Feet Pics OnlyFans
That's right.
account.
I'm just a minority owner of the Mira's Feet Pics Inc.
Mira's Feet Pics Inc.
Mira's Feet Pics LLC is what we'll do. So,
I mean, look, if any foot guys are listening, I do have very impressive feet. I have very high arches, and my toes spread very far apart. They're very I have very limber toes. I can lift up whole books with my toes. I can lift up all kinds of things with my toes. It's very impressive. So, you know, if anyone there wants to pay me.
when Mira and I podcast, for those of you listening, she holds her microphone with her feet while she talks.
I'm doing it right now, just right off camera. I'm just holding the mic with my feet. It's kind of right over here.
Yeah, it's extraordinary. So on that note, I think we've found the perfect place to depart our beloved audience for the week. I appreciate everybody listening. Mira, do you appreciate everybody listening?
I appreciate you all so much. And you know what? I'll say it. I love you. I love you all so much.
God, I love you. I love you all so fucking much.
I love you all so much. The world is beautiful. I love our listeners. I love our podcast. I really want to be one of the greats.
We are. We're on our way. We're going to be great one day.
We're on our way. One day.
I'm never going to stop podcasting until I get to the top of this mountain.
You heard it here first, folks.